Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on all the latest and greatest videos by this man right over here. And if you haven't done so already, we've already started sharing some of our things that we've learned, our story.
You should go back and watch that previous video.
That's right. So make sure you tune in and stay up to date on all the stuff.
3 of the things, we want to give you 3 keys for a healthy relationship. This goes for any relationship, whether it's platonic or in a significant other kind of relationship. But these 3 keys are essential when it comes to taking care of yourself and taking care of your significant other. First and foremost, I want to say this little principle. It would be this: if you can't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of somebody else. Let me say that one more time.
So true.
For the people in the back. If you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of somebody else.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to the dynamic of a relationship, you need 3 keys, babe. Can you tell them the first C? Come on, you know it. You know it.
The 3 keys: communication, character.
You know this last one? Chemistry.
Chemistry! How could I miss that one?
Communication, character,
and chemistry.
Let me debrief some of them, and we're going to debrief them even more so in future videos. Character. Let's start with character first. So character is who somebody is when nobody's looking. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people are not having relational problems. I don't believe in relational problems. I believe that they are having problems because of their single life and they're bringing it into a relationship. Because one person that's broken does not make a whole relationship if they walk into the relationship. You need to make sure you're working on your character, who you are. The emotional needs that you have. You need to know who you are. You need to know your identity. You need to have self-awareness. Come on, how important is self-awareness?
Self-awareness is
especially
so
when you're
important.
walking into a relationship.
And I feel like a lot of people struggle with understanding that they lack self-awareness. Like, that's kind of a rarity to come across people who can identify, like, oh yeah, I struggle with this, or oh yeah, like even like girls, like when we're not feeling well and we know why, like we're moody and not in a good mood and just like irritable. Like a lot of times we just don't even know how to just say, you know what, this is why I'm struggling with this, and it's fine. Like I'll be fine. It's not a big deal. And instead we just indulge in it. Oh, I just need to eat like 18 bars of chocolate and like watch rom-com until I throw up. Like, and that's not how you handle that stuff. You have to be self-aware.
Honestly, this is ministry to me. Just hearing you say all that, it just honestly sets me so free.
Why? Because I do that?
Edit this. Character. Key number 1. Character. Number 2 would be this: the most important thing, I think, and this is really the one doctor that I followed. He was Dr. Darius Daniels. He says communication is the lifeblood to any relationship. Communication is the lifeblood to any relationship. Meaning, if you guys aren't communicating properly, there's a difference. There's a difference between talking and communicating. Talking is, I'm saying something and she's not really listening, or she's saying something and I'm not really listening. Communicating is a dialogue.
Yeah.
It's between 2 people. And so proper communication, and we're going to do a whole series on this in the future, the lost art of communication is what I'm going to call it, because I'm so passionate about communication. But communicating is when she hears me, she also feels me. That's communication right there. And so I see so often, we just had a couple on our couch the other day, and remember what I told them? They were fighting and they were actually just really kind of arguing with each other on our couch. And I was just like, you 2 are terrible communicators. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean, we even struggled with that when we were dating before we did counseling. That was my biggest issue, was I was terrible at communicating. I just kind of swept things under the rug. I just thought like, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna let it blow over. And then eventually I would just like explode. And when I would explode, he'd be like, where is all this coming from? And I think
she just goes, you should just know. You should just know. I'm like, I am not, I don't have this telekinetic power. I can't read what's in here.
Ladies, we have to be honest with ourselves that men just are clueless, and we can't expect them to read our minds. I mean, it's true. You guys are very simple-minded. I'm just trying to say, I really struggled with communication. And through doing it was so bad that we were like, if we can't get this right, like we probably shouldn't continue being in a relationship.
So we ended up getting pre-engagement counseling,
which taught us how to properly
active listening.
Active listening.
So here's a great exercise for everybody, right? So you have a conversation, and so I'll say something. Natalia, when you don't tell me what you're feeling, it makes me feel like I can't protect you. And then the counselor would go to Natalia. Okay, Natalia, what did you hear Devon say?
And then I would say, Devon feels like when I'm not communicating to him that he feels like I don't trust him. And he didn't even say that phrasing specifically.
Like, that's not what he said, but that's also pieces of what he said.
And I was like, oh my gosh, he feels like I don't trust him. That's crazy. And I started crying. Like right then and there, I started crying.
And then I started crying because she was crying. Honestly, I was crying because I'm like, thank God she's hearing it. Thank God it's changing her.
He never shed one tear in the counseling session. I cried many tears, but it was more so like realization, becoming more self-aware. Like, oh yes, I do this.
As soon as I dropped her off, though, I started crying because I'm like, God, you're working on her. She's the only problem in this relationship. Thank God. I'm just kidding. That's not true though. Okay, number 1, character. Number 2, communication. Number 3,
chemistry.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna forget it.
No.
Number 3 is chemistry. Now here's the deal. We're pastors. I understand that there's many different people in this audience, and not everybody believes the kind of faith journey that we believe in. But for us, we believe that chemistry is not just a relational thing. I also believe it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And so in Genesis, we see, Adam and Eve's relationship, and the Bible says that God would create a helpmate that is suitable for Adam. Mm-hmm. I really believe that you have to have religious compatibility or chemistry. You also have to have relational compatibility or chemistry.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, sometimes you just kind of find people where you just fit hand in glove with. People, as we pastored over the years, they're always like, y'all's banter back and forth is like ridiculous, but it's so funny, and you guys just look like your best friends. And honestly, it's like,
we are
best friends.
That's right, honey.
Come on, we're lovers, but we're also boys.
We are. Yeah. We have so much fun together. I mean, even when we're bantering or picking on each other, we can't expect them to read our minds. I mean, it's true. You guys are very simple-minded.
Simple-minded is very different from clueless. Yes, I am simple.
Clueless with the clues that we try to put out there, but simple-minded in the sense that you wouldn't even think
Holmes,
to think of
like
that
nobody
stuff.
Can pick up your clues.
Anyway, like we get a kick out of it. And we just...
And sometimes she actually will like roundhouse kick me.
That's...
Yeah, make sure when it comes to your relationships, fellas, especially when it comes to picking women, make sure they're not abusive.
Okay, I will say this. I'm not abusive, but I will say this. I didn't grow up with brothers.
She started speaking Portuguese. Just slapped me.
Oh my gosh, that was so loud. I did not grow up with brothers, so for me, I'm not used to like the play wrestling, being really annoying like a big brother would be. And Dev loves to do that with me, and I get so irritated.
She'll start laughing. So like as a dude, and we're getting so.
But I'm laughing like, oh, you think you're funny, but like.
So like as a dude.
Not because I genuinely think it's funny, and then you come at me. And I have to defend myself.
But no, she'll literally be like, she's laughing so hard. She's like really crying, laughing. So I'm like, oh, this is working. This is the best moment of our relationship. And then all of a sudden, seconds later, she turns from like an angel to a demon.
I only laugh that hard where I'm crying if you say something or do something that's ridiculous and it cracks me up. But not because you're wrestling me. When you're wrestling me, I get pissed off.
I feel like we're getting into like where we need our counseling piece, so let's go back to it. So 3 keys. We're gonna end this video. 3 keys. Number 1 is this, character. Number 2 is what?
Communication.
And number 3 is chemistry. Character, communication, chemistry. 3 keys for any relationship. Make sure if you're getting into a relationship, if you are trying to sustain a relationship, identify one of those 3 areas, and I'm telling you, it will help you relationally navigate any of the troubles that you guys are facing.
Yeah. It's
gonna help you a lot.
That's right.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching that video. We go through the 3 keys for any healthy relationship: character, communication, and chemistry. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. We are so thankful for everybody that's been following our journey. Honestly, it means the world to me. It means the world to my wife.
It does.
And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Comment below. We want to hear from you. What are some things you want us to talk about? What are some things that you would love to hear our thoughts on? And we would love to hear your stories below. Make sure you comment below. God bless you. Like and subscribe. Peace.